I can't explain to you how humbling this is. Being a police officer in your hometown is one thing, but being elected the mayor of your hometown is quite another. It's a very humbling and gratifying experience. And over the year that I've served as your mayor, I've learned a lot. It's one thing being on the police side of the house, but when you got the whole house, it's a different story altogether. Again, I want to thank all of you for being here today and sharing in this. I'm extremely proud to be standing again before you. It's an exciting time to be in Midwest City, Oklahoma. We're celebrating not only our 75th anniversary, Tinker Air Force Base's 75th anniversary, the 70th anniversary of the United States Air Force, the 75th anniversary of the Chamber of Commerce of Midwest City, and the 25th anniversary of our Red Dirt Sailors who homesteaded here 25 years ago and became an integral part of our community. We've established a committee to oversee and coordinate all the functions that are going to go on this year. Many of you are members of the 75th Anniversary Committee, and I would encourage you to become a part of that and find some way that you can participate in the many activities that we've got slated for 2017. I am determined, as your mayor, to ensure that our heritage is one that we can pass on to our future generations. Today, I want to celebrate the many, many achievements of our employees. Our employees are the backbone of our city, and they do a number of things that go unseen. They accomplish work day in and day out that provides us a community that's safe to live in and viable to live in, and that is attractive to other people to come and live. From the line crews sitting in the ditches to the decision makers in all the departments, as your mayor, I want to extend a thank you for all the hard work you do. Last year, I became your mayor. There was also 2 additions to our city council, Pat Burns from Ward 2, Sean Reed from Ward 4, who couldn't be here today. It's the height of tax season, and you know what he does for a living. Along with the additions to council and in the mayor's office, we added 3 new directors. Sarah Hancock, who's our new city clerk, Christy Barron, who is our finance director, and Phil Anderson, who's our new city attorney. Due to several retirements last year, we were able to restructure the environmental services and community services of our city and bring it under one umbrella, which is headed by Vaughn Sullivan and his assistant director, Paul Streets. We are honored that our employees continue to receive awards across the board. But one particular stands out this year. Major David Huff of the Midwest City Police Department was awarded the Police Service Valor of Honor Award by former President Barack Obama in the White House this last year. The honor was as a result of his heroic actions of saving a 2-year-old from being murdered in 2012. In 2016, our city went through our yearly and rigorous annual audit, which is required by statute. And we received, in accountant speak, an unqualified audit report. Congratulations to the entire financial team and also to the department heads who oversee their budgets with scrutiny and spend every dollar of your taxpayers' dollars with a frugal spirit. I am proud to pronounce or say that we have a clean financial record. Over the last 9 months, I've enjoyed being out in the public and in meeting our citizens. I began an initiative when I took office. It's kind of a hokey sounding thing, but Meet the Mayor, in which I am available to the citizens in the council chambers an hour before council so they can come in and talk to me in a friendly environment and share their concerns and wishes that they would like to see the city take on. In addition to that, with the blessing of the proprietors of Underground Coffee Shop, located at 1621 South Douglas. That's a plug for Amber and them. I have coffee with the mayor the first Tuesday of every month. I'm available from 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. for the same reason, for people to come in and talk to me in a relaxed environment, have coffee, and share their wishes with me. Now, I took the initiative from the old Conrad Meyer drugstore in the old part of Midwest City, where the movers and shakers, and probably your grandfather, Cindy, met almost every day for coffee, and I'm sure most of the decisions made about Midwest City was made over a cup of coffee in that drugstore. So that's where I got that idea, Cindy. Over the last year, I've extremely pleased to I have built a coalition with Mr. Henson and Tim Lyons, our city manager and assistant city manager. They manage a $150 million budget and over 400 employees on a daily basis. Their focus remains on providing and maintaining vital services for our citizens and also a safe and well-funded environment for our employees. Now, Mr. Henson doesn't want me to mention this, but he has been a city employee for 38 years and been our city manager for 12 years. Both him and Tim's practical approach to our finances have fortified the city over the years and led us through many successes and many tenuous times. But the city of Midwest City has fared well. Unlike some of the cities of like population and size, we have not laid off any employees, and we've maintained our financial structure. Mr. Henson, I know, and Tim, thank you for your hard work. Public services provided to our community in 2016, the Environmental Service Director, Bill Janicek, who just recently retired after 37 years of service to the city, oversaw the design, construction, and completion of our new water reclamation plant, commonly known as wastewater. It also came with the ability to provide compost not only for the city, but also for our citizens. This will serve our community well into the next century. A state-of-the-art computer program was brought online to provide more efficient and better ways to oversee the consumption, production, and distribution of our water. I want to remind you that the city of Midwest City has never had to ration water due to the infrastructure that we had in place, and that started from the very beginning. The Public Works line maintenance crews, along with City Utilities Department, began the first phase of implementation of an automated water shutoff system, which will again increase our efficiency. Upgrades to the Titan Tower were completed in 2016, which ensures clean water coming from that system for years forward. When I did the data call for my speech, I've got all the stuff in the back of the book, but it's that thick. And there's some things that I'll point out that caught my eye. Our solid waste crew collected 33,621 tons of trash last year. Along with that, Republic Services picked up 2,793 tons of recyclables from our curbside recycling program. Our city began American Disabilities Act transition plan to bring our sidewalks, our parks, and other areas of the city in compliance with the ADA Act. We also completed a light inventory, Mr. Chappell, to increase our efficiency in identifying gaps in lighting throughout the city and also increase our efficiency in billing. The Community Development Department also provides permits and inspections throughout the city year-long. and have registered over 200 new storm shelters this year. Neighborhood Services work tirelessly to uphold city ordinances to ensure a clean and hazard-free environment for our community. They aggressively worked over 6,700 code enforcement violations. We have 5 new restaurants that opened in Midwest City this year. And to the tireless work of one individual who I've come to known as the Reverend, and he's also known for his one-liners. And I call him the Reverend because he has got the gospel of retail and marketing down to a science. Thank you for all your hard work, Robert. I appreciate it. Not bad for a one-liner. The first phase of the Sooner Rose Shopping Center project was completed this year with the opening of the new Academy Sports and also the new and improved Hobby Lobby. There's more to come from this site. 2 iconic structures were tore down this year. The old TGMY at 23rd and Douglas and the old Target store at Reno and Midwest. And Reverend, can I get an amen? Amen. Obviously, they're being replaced with a Winco grocery store, which is kind of a hybrid that we're lucky to get. And a beautiful new OnQ will be going at 23rd and Douglas, which will dress up that intersection and hopefully promote some more construction in that corridor. The Soldier Creek Industrial Park on 23rd Street received a site-ready certification by the Department of Commerce. What that means to us is that this site gets national recognition when people or businesses are looking to relocate, and we've got a site-ready area for them to come in for the services that are provided for that area. We're lucky to have that. The long-awaited redevelopment study of the Heritage Park Mall began in 2016, and we recently had a public meeting with the residents surrounding the mall, and looking forward to working with the owners and other developers into redeveloping that current eyesore in our town. Multiple city departments have prepared ordinances to improve the quality of life of our citizens. One new ordinance that we just passed at council provides that the convenience stores provide a safety area or a line of sight as you're walking up and approaching those stores to provide a safe area for consumers and also first responders to ensure their safety. To save money, many departments have proceeded to go into the paperless and digital age, and that's being done by the assistance of our technology department within the city. The Public Works Department facilitated landscaping projects along South Midwest, Southeast 29th, I-40 in Hudaburg, and Park Lawn Drive. They also made upgrades to Kiwanis and Mid-America parks while maintaining our 27 other parks within the city. Community Development and Public Works also worked on numerous restriping and resurfacing projects throughout the city while maintaining our 500 miles of roadways within our town. One department in our city always gets overlooked, and I want to offer them kudos for the work they do, and that's our Fleet Maintenance Department. Our Fleet Maintenance Department oversees the maintenance of over 500 vehicles, all the way from golf carts to multi-$1,000 fire trucks. They do this in keeping the service 80% within the city, and they have all ASE certified technicians on board. They also operate 2 refueling stations, 1 liquid and 1 natural gas, which was just brought on board last year. Public safety is obviously a priority with the city of Midwest City, and I'm proud to come from that community. To ensure communication with first responders and other cities and agencies throughout the state, our EOC, or Emergency Operations Center, participated in 4 exercises this year, or 2 full-size exercises this year and 4 tabletop exercises. As Colonel Wilson can appreciate, if you don't exercise how you're going to fight, then you're probably going to lose. So that's the point of having the exercise and ensure that our communications are correct and we're communicating with the right people. Along with the IT, or Information Technology Department, EOC began implementing our own 800 megahertz radio system. Right now we're in a trunked system which relies on a relay system that's located in Tulsa. We're trying to bring that local so we don't have to operate or depend on anybody else, that we are self-sufficient. That is coupled with our new GIS system, which allows us to pinpoint with accuracy levels of issues that we may have, all the way from 911 calls to sewer line breaks. The city also retained its certification with the National Weather Service and Storm Safe Cities to ensure that we are in compliance with FEMA regulations, which is a key part of gaining money back from FEMA and being reimbursed properly when we do suffer a natural or man-made disaster. A police and fire study was executed in 2016, which can allow the staff and the City Council to plan strategically for the future of both of these vital departments. I am pleased to stand here before you and tell you that the fire department is 100% manned on the suppression side of the house. They maintain and operate one of the 13 regional hazardous materials response vehicles in the state, which will be called upon not only in our community but other areas of the community in case we have a large hazardous material issue. They also review all of the new construction that goes on. They responded to over 6,000 calls for service last year with an average response time of 4.58 minutes. Thank you, Chief, for your hard work. Lastly, with the fire department, we have retained our ISO 1 rating. The police department instituted, with approval of council, a police advisory board to enhance the relationships with our citizens and the police department, which is vital in today's age. The police department responded to 66,000 calls for service last year. I might add that the 6,000 fire calls and the 66,000 police calls are funneled through that small area in the basement we call EOC. The 66,000 calls for service resulted in 2,800 arrests and the completion of 9,900 police incident reports. In conjunction with the municipal court, our two warrant officers worked over 1,600 warrants, which resulted in the collection of $800,000 of fines and fees that were due the city. Our animal control shelter achieved an 85% release rate last year. Our Finance, Information, and Human Resources Department work equally hard. They have been instrumental in implementing a new time and attendance system this year. And they also manage a $2.2 million payroll that has a $2.2 million impact on our local community. Human Resources also maintain the health benefits program for the city. We are self-insured, and they oversee a $6.7 million budget on a yearly basis. Along with all that, they also coordinated 2 blood drives, flu shots, employee service awards program, and a Christmas food and gift drive that benefited the citizens of Midwest City. Our grants and management department are equally busy. They oversaw and continue to oversee the implementation of the North Oaks project and also the original Square Mile revitalization program. They also oversee several grants, the Safe Oklahoma Grant, Head Start program, and the Telstar Boys and Girls Club located at Telstar Elementary. Neighborhood Services hosted their 10th annual summer camp, their Oktoberfest, Continued to assist 30 to 40 citizens a week in food and other benefits. Oversaw the 10th annual VITA Tax Assistance Program, which they completed over 1,000 tax returns last year at no cost to the citizen. They facilitated 34 active neighborhood association meetings, supported 10 block parties, 5 neighborhood cleanups, several Easter egg hunts, 16 National Night Out events, and a partridge in a pear tree. Equally important is Neighborhood Services led 2 initiatives last year. One, collecting over $18,000 worth of school supplies that was distributed equally throughout the schools in the Midwest City jurisdictional area. They also collected, in cooperation with Sam's Wholesale, $20,000 worth of food that assisted over 100 families during Christmas. Let's give them a hand. Continuing with our neighborhood outreach, our fire department taught over 2,500 elementary kids the importance of fire safety and fire prevention. The police department, along with Councilwoman Christine Allen, participated in several neighborhood events and walkthroughs to increase our visibility within these neighborhoods and also increase our presence and getting to know our citizens, letting them know that police officers and the city officials aren't somewhere else. Parks and Recreation Department hosted 23 events last year covering 80 calendar days, including the Tribute of Liberty, Veterans Day Parade, Holiday Light Spectacular. They also operate the Swim and Slide, located at Reno and Douglas, the softball and baseball complexes, Senior Citizen Center, and Community Center. The Welcome Center, Susan, had over 12,000 visitors last year and generated $18,000 worth of revenue from their small gift shop. And I encourage you to go by that gift shop. I bought several Christmas gifts there last year. That's where your gift came from, Mr. Henson. The Convention and Visitors Bureau also hosted several Cruise In for Coffee events. First time ever Covered in Color Sidewalk Chalk and Arts Festival. They hosted such events as the 4-day SoonerCon Pop Arts Festival, which I got a picture with a full-size R2-D2 at that event. And we also hosted the Miss Black Ambassador Scholarship Pageant. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I want to again thank the hard work of our employees. There's a lot that goes on in this city. We continue to strive to make Midwest City what was envisioned by our founder, America's model city. We have a great city with we've had a lot of positive results in 2016, and 2017 proves to be even greater. We continue to grow and develop, and I'm hoping in the next few weeks that we can make a huge announcement regarding a development that will be a game changer for our community. And none of this happens in a vacuum. Again, I want to reiterate the fact that our employees are constantly working and striving to provide us with those changes. There is one thing I need to ask you to do. First off, shop Midwest City. It's vitally important. As you know, Oklahoma is a hybrid, as we are in a lot of areas, but Oklahoma is one of the only state in the union that does not allow municipalities to tap into ad valorem or property tax for a method of support. Cities throughout the state are totally reliant on sales tax revenue, fees, and fines. With the advent of the internet and online shopping, we're starting to see a decline in those revenues. So I'm sorry Roger had to leave. He had to be on the floor of the House this morning. But I implore you to contact your state legislators and also the federal legislatures and help us close that gap on e-commerce and get those funds funneled back to the municipalities, which actually pits us against one another and competing for the same dollar. For your convenience, we have posted a pre-typed letter on our website under the council mayor's page, and we are located at www.midwestcityok.org. Serving the Midwest City area as a police officer was extremely gratifying, but serving as your mayor is extremely humbling and even more gratifying. There's nothing more rewarding for me to give back to the community that has given me and my family so much. And before I get out of here, and especially since we're a week from Valentine's Day, I want to recognize my wife, my best friend, and she's heard this speech about 4 times. She's the one that keeps me grounded, and I'll tell you a little story. Right after 9/11, I was activated and was sent off to the desert, and I was a Chief Master Sergeant, and Chief Master Sergeant in the Air Force, they pretty much get their way, and of course they have to tell people what to do and when to do it and how to do it. Well, after I came home, I continued in that mode for about a week. And my wife pulled me to the side and said, "Look, Chiefy, you're not the chief here. I've been handling this place while you've been off playing for 2 years." So she's the one that keeps me grounded. I haven't done the mayor thing yet, and I'm trying to avoid doing that. But again, I want to thank you all for being here today. I do have an open door. Anytime that you want to get a hold of me or you need for me to do something, I'll be there for you. With that being said, is there any questions that you would like to pose for me? Well, Mr. Burns, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Okay, so moved. Thank all of you very much for being here and have a great day.